Your Steve Jones Show podcast is loading now. The Steve Jones Show podcast is sponsored by Sunbury Motors, North 4th Street in Sunbury, and Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. Sports talk where your voice counts. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. Now from the Sunbury Motors studio, here's Steve Jones.
Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Lincoln, Kia, Hyundai. Can't ask for better product lines than that. Fabulous pre-owned inventory with a wide variety to choose from that all are backed up by the Sunbury Motors guarantee. Fabulous sales staff with a lot of great deals to be had. I mean, the holidays are a great time to buy. And you also want to be at a place that has a fabulous service department. You know, they take care of something complicated, but they also do a great job and are diligent with routine maintenance. It's all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Time now for our play-by-play call of the day. Miles Dredd wins it for the Nittany Lions last night. Dredd bounce pass goes into Brockington. Brockington backcourt. Brockington with 6 seconds into the front court.
Don't shoot a jump shot.
Brockington. Wheeler, 2 seconds. For the win, Miles Dredd. He's got it.
He did it again.
Miles Dredd from the wing. Knocks down a three, and the Nittany Lions at the wire win it. Penn State last night beat VCU at the Jordan Center, 72-69, off to a 2-0 start. They get Seton Hall in the Jordan Center Sunday night at 8. Seton Hall will play Oregon tomorrow night. Virginia Tech will be next to the ACC Challenge on Tuesday, and VMI takes on Virginia Tech tonight. So Miles Dredd, that's the only shot of the game he hit. The only shot all night he hit. He had been 0 for 4 before making that shot. It's his third game winner. His other game winners, Yale, Rutgers, and that's the first time he's done it where he's done it at the buzzer with the ball in the air. So, big one for him and the Nittany Lions last night. 2-0. It's a good game, by the way. Penn State for 37 minutes, I thought, played fabulous basketball. But then, last 3 minutes, they just could not muster the right offensive combination to put the game away. And they had a chance. They were up 8. They could put the game away. 8 was their largest lead. They could never get to a double-digit lead on this team. But in the end, Dredd hit the shot. They won it. They're 2-0. And again, Seton Hall in the Jordan Center Sunday night at 8. And then Virginia Tech next Tuesday at 9. We'll be doing Tuesday's show from an undisclosed location in Virginia. So that's what we're going to do. Looking forward to it. First things first. Next on the docket for me is Rutgers. So I'm right now. The docket for me looks like this. It goes football, basketball, basketball, football, basketball. Between Saturday. Let's see, that's going to be over a 9-day span. So I go football, basketball the next day, off day Monday in terms of doing games. Tuesday game, then off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, game Saturday, game Sunday. Oh, that's what we got coming up here. And believe me, I know Doug's listening. Doug, I feel for you, buddy. I totally feel for you. Poor Doug hasn't been able to do a game. And he's about as active gets and about as good as anybody gets in this business. And he has been sidelined and idled by all of this. And so we haven't been able to hear that great presentation that he makes. So believe me, when you hear me talking about my schedule, I am only talking about my schedule. I am not. There's no complaint from me. I've never complained about my schedule ever. Never have. Simply because it's a great job, and I am fortunate I get to keep doing it right now. This whole thing is a game by game basis. I'll go back to a conversation I had with Mark Packer. And ironically, it was on the 4th of July, and Mark had asked me to be on his show on Sirius XM. So literally, I'm sitting in the comfort of the backyard on a warm 4th of July afternoon. Probably was a hot 4th of July afternoon based on how the summer went. And he asked me, he said, and now at this point, nothing had happened with the Big Ten. They were still scheduled to play and the whole deal, but there were spikes around the 4th of July. So now there's starting to be doubts about what was going to happen. Just like we're going through some spikes right now, and people are having doubts. Yet things keep pushing on. And he said, Steve, what do you think? Do you think they'll play? And I says, I think they'll play. And I really did couch it that way. I said, I think they'll play. But I said, I also think that you have to have 3 goals. And he said, what are your 3 goals? I said, well, your first goal is to actually play a game. He says, great. He said, well, what's the second goal? I said, to play a second game. Then he laughed. He says, I think I know what the third goal is. I said, yes, it's to play a third game. And that's and that's how you feel on a week-by-week basis with this. I had somebody say to me earlier in the week, well, you must be excited about this week. You know, you got basketball, you got football. You know, I know how much you like this time of the year. And I said, I don't know. I said, it's hard to get excited about anything because you're waiting to find out. Look at last week. Last week, Illinois and Ohio State are going to play. And Friday night, Ohio State says we can't do it. So there's no game. So you go by every day, even though I'll see Penn State's testing numbers, and I saw them yesterday, were 1,186. There were 2 positives and 1 was pending. Well, as you're sitting there, okay, that's great. They've done a fabulous job. So you feel for the moment, okay, Penn State, what about Rutgers? I don't know what Rutgers testing numbers happen to be. I mean, Seton Hall's playing Friday night against Oregon. They're traveling. I'm not sure where that game is. But Seton Hall played at Rhode Island last night. And they're traveling, and then they got to travel in. Well, hopefully they're doing well. And then you got Virginia Tech. Well, hopefully, they've got VMI tonight. Hopefully they continue to do well. Same thing with Penn State. Penn State hopefully continues to do well. Penn State's had 1 game postponed already. They've had 1, and they're still working on a date for the Drexel game. So, like I said, you sit there every game as you approach it, hoping you can play it. That's what you're hoping. You're hoping you can play the darn thing. You don't know. Right now, 87% of all college basketball teams are playing. 87%. The Oregon game with Seton Hall is in Nebraska. It's in Omaha. So they got to go to Omaha to hear. But But that's where you are with this right now. Every game, you're like, okay, we're going. Okay, good. Okay, we're all set for the day. Okay, both teams are here. Good. Okay, everybody's good? Yeah. That's how it is. That's how the players are, too. That's why Ryan Day, who's not going to be able to coach this week's game between Ohio State and Michigan State, was talking about the difficulty today of what they went through last week with Illinois, all ready to go, and we can't go. And then the disappointment, and then you have to re-gear. I think people think it's easy to do that, and it's just not. This whole situation has not been easy. I found it interesting that people have a couple of times criticized James Franklin. He talks so much about COVID. Well, number one, he's asked a lot about COVID. Okay, number one, you do answer the questions you're asked. And a lot of what they've had to do is had to surround it. Last week, for example, on the show, I asked him specifically about the change they had to make, because this was a football. This wasn't this was COVID related as to why, but also football related in terms of routine. That they had to eat here, they had to meet here. They couldn't do that because of the new restrictions in place in Michigan. Right? It's just a change that you have to make. It's not what you normally do. It's not what the players are used to doing. Now, you adjust, you do it, but the reason I asked him the question was quite simple. So that you, the fan, had more information about what was going on with the team. Pretty simple. In other words, you, the fan, now know that, hey, look, it's a little bit different for them. They had to do this. That way you have at least a little more knowledge of how they're negotiating this. It's not just simple, we're getting on the plane, we show up, here we are, we go play, we play the game, we get in the plane, we go home. Well, it's not that simple. Now, they're not going to run into that, believe it or not, this week at Rutgers. At Rutgers, New Jersey, believe it or not, is a little more open than Michigan is. So they'll be able to go, and I believe they're busing. They'll be able to go. They'll be able to get to the hotel. They'll be able to eat there. They'll have to space, do that. But they won't be in the same boat they were with Michigan last week, because New Jersey is a little more open on what they're doing than Michigan is. I mean, now California, as you heard, Mayor Eric Garcetti wants Los Angeles, quote, to close down now. That's not the situation where Penn State's going this weekend. Now, weather could be a situation. I mean, it looks like it's going to rain. It's going to be one of those cold rains on Saturday. And Penn State has not run into bad weather any place during the course of the season. In fact, Jack and I were driving in from Ypsilanti to Ann Arbor on Saturday morning. And he looks at me, he says, Steve, can you believe this? He says, every single game's like this. It's not a cloud in the sky. You can't ask for better weather. It's Thanksgiving weekend. You couldn't ask for a better football weekend. And every game has been like that. Not this Saturday. I guess this Saturday they're talking about rain, and a cold rain at that. Well, I remember 2016 going in there. Ever tell you the 2016 story? I probably have. Matt.
Yeah, I may have, but
this is where I did the game at Duke. Not at Duke. I'm sorry. Penn State in basketball played Duke at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, and so it was going to be played on a Saturday at it was 12:30 was the tip-off. 12:30. So I fly into Connecticut with the basketball team on Friday night. I rent a car at Bradley. I drive down to Mohegan Sun. Game's at 12:30. The football game is in New Jersey at 8. So I have to make it from Connecticut to New Jersey. And with a 6:30 airtime, Joe Putnam was working on the network then. So we had Joe fill in at the beginning. just in case. The whole point was they wanted me to make sure that I was there by 8 o'clock, and the kickoff was like 8:09. So the game's at 12:30. I finish up on the air at 3. Now, Jeff Nelson was with me. Jeff rode shotgun. Good on 95. Then we kind of slid over to the Merritt Parkway because of traffic and everything. And I negotiate my way through New York City, down the Huntington Parkway, boom, get on 95, Jersey Turnpike. And we're on the air at 6:30. Well, it turned out I pull into the parking lot, at the entrance of the parking lot, at 6:25. Right? Can't be any better. The guy looks at us and says, you can't pull in here. Now, we were using the directions on the back of the parking pass. That's why we went where we went. They have a map and written directions, and Jeff was reading out the directions. He was great with it. And he said, you can't come in here. And Jeff said, well, isn't this the entrance to the media parking? He says, yes. He said, well, then why can't we go in? And he said, you guys don't understand. This is a really big game. And this is the only time I said anything. I said, well, we're the Penn State broadcast team. I said, every game we do is a big game. It's like, don't be a jerk.
That's Rutgers in a nutshell.
I was like, really? As I said, well, we're the Penn State broadcast team. I said, every game we do is a big game. And he says, well, you can't come into your park. I said, all right. I said, well, you don't mind me asking. I said, how do I get into the lot then? He says, you've got to go, and he told me, so you got to go down, you got to go over the river, which I think is the Raritan, over the river, go parallel to the river, come back over the river, and you have to enter the same lot from the opposite side. And Jeff looked at it. Nelson was a guy that rarely got angry, rarely. And he says, you're telling me we can't drive down there? He said, we're looking at it right now. I said, no, can't let you in.
That's atrocious.
I said, Jeff, it's okay. I said, Jeff, it's okay. I said, the bottom line is we're here, and I'm here an hour and 40 minutes before kickoff. He goes, all right, you're right. I said, it's okay. I said, sir, thank you so much. No problem. Boom. So I go over the river, through the woods, run parallel to the river, come back over the bridge, and I get to the other side, and I enter there. And I walked into the booth about 6:45. Now remember, considering I've done a game, and I drove, I think getting there an hour and 24 minutes before kickoff's pretty good.
That is.
Right? So now you do the game, and it starts to rain. So it starts raining. Like, oh, boy. And then in the second half, and everybody eventually, Penn State's got the game. I think Penn State shut them out 39-0. I remember Juwan Johnson blocked a punt, and Penn State had a couple big runs. The fourth quarter, it starts snowing. And I mean, the big flakes. I mean, it's snowing hard. Game's over. Post-game show's over. Now I've got to get in the car. And this time Jeff's gone back with the football team, so I'm going back myself. I've got to drive back to Connecticut because I've got a basketball game with Cincinnati at noon the next day. So I'm on at 11:30. So I get back in the car and I start driving back. And it's snowing on the New Jersey Turnpike. And I'm on the Jersey Pike, and I go over the George Washington Bridge, and I'm in the New York City. It's still snowing. And then finally, when I'm just getting out of New York City, all right, it turns to a heavy rain. I finally get back to the Mohegan Sun about 3:30 in the morning. Got about 6 hours of sleep. Boom. Did the Cincinnati game. Boom. Right? Didn't go well. Got in the car, drove up to the airport, got on the basketball team charter, flew back. But, man, it was driving in that snow. That was wow.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Ooh. Well, I mean, the fans bagged. I mean, they were gone. I mean, they were gone. But that's, hey, It's all part of the fun of the job, right? I remember you know what's weird? Driving there, you know what the toughest part we had to fight, besides some traffic, obviously, that's why we kind of shifted over in Norwalk to go over the Merritt Parkway. All right. Believe it or not, I just told you all this bad weather. You know the toughest part we had to fight? Sundown. The sun was blaring right in our faces. It wasn't until we got to New York City the clouds rolled in with the rain. All right. We will come back with more in a moment. Great to have you with us. Brought to you by Sunbury Motors on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Taking your calls at 800-795-9565. This is The Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. Now, from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
And today's show brought to you by Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Lincoln, Kia, Hyundai. Can't ask for better new product lines than that. Ford, Lincoln, Kia, Hyundai. Maybe the budget says pre-owned's the way to go. Well, they have a fabulous wide range of selections of pre-owned vehicles that come with the Sunbury Motors guarantee. They go over it with a fine-tooth comb. Tremendous service department and also a great sales staff, and it's a great time of the year to buy. You get great holiday savings. All at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, it's 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. And ladies and gentlemen, he was so anxious to get here, he's a day early. It's the King.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
King.
Good. Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm good.
I had to calm Matt down this week. I mean, it's just been one of those weeks.
I'm better now.
Every week. I mean, for the past month, just talking you off the ledge. I mean, to the point where even your parents are now commenting.
Well, my dad won't be that surprised. God bless him. He's dealt with me all these years.
What happened?
From first to worst. The Eagles.
Why? What happened?
The Eagles.
Oh, I know. The Giants are in first. The Giants going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, this is the March we've expected under Daniel Jones and been hoping for.
Well, we got Colt McCoy there. He did all right,
He's hanging in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hey,
he's hanging in all right.
This year. Look at Denver. Holy cow.
I was something last week.
Quarterback.
I think they made an example out of them. That's what I think.
What do you mean?
I think that they decided that, hey, you know what? You guys didn't follow the rules. So since you didn't follow the rules, you are going to be without quarterbacks this week.
Cool. I mean, so they would tank a game just to do that?
Oh, I think everybody got the message loud and clear.
Yeah, I know, but why tank a game? I mean, I don't,
Oh, I don't know. I think Denver didn't take the game. The NFL told them you're still playing. The NFL told them no uncertain terms. We are not moving the game for you. It's your fault.
Oh, okay, I get it. Oh, the NFL laid the law on them.
Yeah,
correct. Yes.
Yes.
I get it.
They said you are playing ball, but all we have is a wide receiver. Good, functional, good enough.
He used to be like replacement players. The movie. Anybody here can throw a ball? You're the quarterback.
You're in.
That was wild. So, hey, give the kid credit. He went out there. Probably had the time of his life. So
he gave it a shot. He completed one pass.
Yeah, he's a running quarterback. I mean, he was a backup quarterback in college, right? At Tulane or whatever.
I believe he completed only 5 or 6 fewer passes than RG3 did last night.
Yeah, RG3. What a shame. What a great athlete. A good guy too.
Yeah, with the knee. I mean, getting that leg hurt.
Yeah,
that was awful. Because I mean,
hey, you know a story I heard the other day?
Well.
Not to interrupt, but you know who Christian Fourier is? He was a tight end, I believe. Played with the Patriots, played with like 6 different teams. He said the worst coach he ever played for was Joe Gibbs.
Really?
He said he said he did not. He was very vocal about it. He said, I could not believe he won the Super Bowls he won. He said he had no control over the team. Now, he went from the Patriots to the Redskins, and he went from Bill Belichick's, no nonsense, la-di-da-di-da, whatever, to no discipline whatsoever. He said he was the dumbest coach I ever played for. The players did whatever they wanted to do, and he let them. He didn't care. So,
I'm wondering if obviously this was the second time he was the coach.
Second go-around with Gibbs.
Right. Yeah, that was the second go-around. The first go-around, they won 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah. No, I know that. That's why I was surprised. I don't picture Belichick, if he quit for a while and came back, being totally lackadaisical. He said he couldn't get out of Washington fast enough. He said there was just no structure to the team whatsoever. That everybody just did whatever they wanted to do, and it showed on the field. So.
And to their credit, that tradition has continued. But right now, you know what? Right now, the Steelers have them next on Monday at 5. You know what? I'm looking at a Washington team with Ron Rivera.
Yep.
To be honest with you, is playing their best football.
He's a good football coach.
Yeah.
Alex Smith is quarterback, right?
Yes. Thrilled for him.
It scares me to watch him, but thrilled. He's a man's man right there. He's a tough guy,
I mean, he has money. He could have walked away.
Oh, absolutely.
You could tell he loves
the game. He's playing for the love
game.
of the game. He's not playing for any other reason. Or he challenged himself, that this is my last go. If this is going to be it, I'm going to give it everything I got. And good for him. I hate to see him get hurt again,
Oh, I mean, everybody feels that way about him. I mean,
he's got the respect of every player in that league. So,
I mean, he had to put his heart and soul into it.
Even if you don't like sports, if you hear a story, you're like, wow, good. You root for a guy like him. So
right.
Whatever. Pandemic life goes on. How's the pandemic doing there?
Matt, you're the news guy.
We had, for our 4-county area here, we had our highest total ever for our 4-county area here daily, and the state too.
Today we had 68 here in Center County.
We had 320 total here across our 4 counties.
Actually, in our area, it's actually gone down.
What's the percentage? Actually, the important numbers are hospitalization and deaths. That's
right, and the hospital here, I think they have 41 COVID beds. I think they all might be filled, or else almost.
Yeah, we got almost 2,000 in the hospital again here. So
yeah,
it's back.
Well,
testing at 6.5%. So, and yesterday, 50-something people died from it. 59 people.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, it was gone. It was gone all summer, and it came back with a vengeance. And are the kids going to school there in class, or are they all remote?
It's mixed.
It's mixed. My daughter teaches in Penns Valley. They're remote right now, but my grandchildren are going back to school here.
I think the kids should be home. It's controversial here because they're talking about closing the restaurants completely, which will put them all out of business. So.
Right. That's. I know that's happening in other places. They can't have anything like this.
It's so. These are all my friends, and I'm just watching them, just with their heads hanging down, and they're trying everything they can to have business, but. And if you own a business, you can't collect unemployment.
Right.
So it's a double whammy. You lost your business and you have no income, and you're qualified to be a chef. There's no place to go. I don't know.
Well,
but
I do know we need to take a break.
And we will come back. That's it.
Yes, we will. And I do know we need to take a break. So we'll do that in a moment. Come back with our picks here on News Radio 1070 WKOK. When it comes to car buying, there's the other guy's way, and then there's the SMC way. The other guys force you into a vehicle you really don't want. The Sunbury Motors way lets you take the time you need to browse, ask questions, and take the test drive and think on it. For over 100 years, the Mertz family and all their employees have made your experience the most pleasant one you'll ever have. The other guys won't offer you the best price for your trade, no matter how much they say they will. The SMC way is their promise to provide you with the most money the market shows your vehicle is worth. The SMC way is to offer you all applicable factory rebates on new vehicles and generous discounts. Looking for a pre-owned vehicle? The SMC way checks each vehicle in a 200-mile radius to determine the lowest price, then beat it. It's the lowest price promise, just part of the SMC way. The choice is up to you. The other guy's way or the SMC way. The SMC way wins every time. Sunbury Motors Company in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza, Sunbury, and at sunburymotors.com. Selling more cars and satisfying more customers for over 100 years. Well, Matt's all excited. He's at least winning something.
That's exactly right. That's why we're starting with college today.
There you go.
All right, anyway, so last week was a good week for you, King. 6-2. 44-45 overall.
All right.
What two did I lose?
You lost UNC, and we all lost Texas.
UNC, I took Notre Dame.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bad. Well, then you won 7-1.
I'm the one that took North Carolina.
Okay.
I think I'm the only one that took North Carolina.
Yeah,
You're correct.
Took North Carolina.
All right, then I owe you another win. So you're 500, 45-45.
I wouldn't fight for it, except I gotta. I don't have a choice. I need everyone I can get. That puts me over 5. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. I'm over 500.
Yeah, sorry, 46.
45 and 44.
Yeah. And then I went 5-3. I'm 57-32, still the lead dog. Steve went 3-5. You are 49-40.
There you go.
Now, on
I
to
got
this
you
one.
in my sight, brother.
There we go, the sibling rivalry. Here we go.
Here we go. Game on, baby.
I bought my kid a bow and arrow set. He bought me a T-shirt with a target on it.
All right, number 12. IU without Michael Penix against Wisconsin on the road. Steve.
Wisconsin will win. Without Penix means so much to them. It's beyond words what he means.
King.
I got Indiana. I love Indiana. I think they're a great football team. I haven't seen Wisconsin play. I don't know. So.
Jack
Indiana's
not
played
good
well
enough.
all year, and they gave Ohio State everything they wanted.
Yep.
Wisconsin has a way of not playing great in big games.
Yeah.
I am sticking with IU as well.
Okay. I with Jack Tuttle at quarterback, I don't see it, but that's all right.
You're probably right. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
All right.
I got to catch up to you. I can't take who you take.
I know. I got you. Yeah.
All right, next one. Number 13, BYU at Coastal Carolina. King.
Coastal Carolina, baby. That's my team this year.
Ooh, see, you stole that from me, but actually I got BYU this time. I think they're a very solid team. Steve.
BYU in this one. I thought Liberty Coastal was going to be a terrific game. I think this will be a really good game, but I think BYU will win it. They have more talent.
Yeah, that's pretty much my sentiments there.
And Zach Wilson at quarterback.
Next one, Pac-12, Stanford at number 22, Washington. Steve.
Can I pick a tie? I'll go with Washington. Why not?
I got the Huskies as well. King.
Yeah, I got Washington.
Clean sweep. And finally, Number 5, Texas A&M. First team on the outside looking in for the college football playoff. At Auburn. King.
A&M.
Steve.
Kellen Mond practiced taking a knee this week. Victory formation. Texas A&M.
Yeah, I got A&M too. Auburn stinks.
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm going to switch one. I'm going to take Stanford.
Okay.
All right.
So we're all clean sweeped in on A&M.
Yeah.
Now to the NFL. Okay.
You know, I met John Facendo. You know that?
Yes, I believe you did tell us that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the voice of NFL films.
Brett Favre.
On the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
What a voice. What a nice guy.
The Eagles will be there this week to get their tails kicked, but we are not picking that game, thankfully.
Oh, man, I'm telling you right now, he needs therapy.
He tried not to pick gimme games.
I begged you to get therapy.
I'm working on it, all right? I'm working on it.
I begged you.
Hey, you got a Super Bowl. You know what their jinx is? They wouldn't see the president. They haven't won a thing since.
That's a number of things.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Indy at Houston. King, you sticking with your Indy squad?
No. Houston.
You got Houston. All right. I'm going Indy. Steve.
I think Indy's playing really well, but I'll go with Houston as well.
Okay. Next one, big one in the AFC West. Rams at Cardinals. Steve.
Oh, boy, the Cardinals are a tight team, and they let you down. I'm going to go with the Rams. Goff is just so much better than Wentz.
Oh, now you like Goff. Oh, boy. Okay.
No. The better quarterbacks playing for Arizona.
He was a laughing joke a few weeks ago. Oh.
I think Goff is good, not great, but I'll tell you, the Rams' defense is really good.
Yeah, but they lost to San Francisco. Jeez.
Obviously, you picked that game. I hear the bitterness.
Yeah, I got screwed.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There you go.
There you go.
You know, I'd have won the $145 pool this week. A guy got them all right every game.
Wow.
That's normally how you lose. That's normally how you lose if the other guy gets them all right.
He picked San Francisco. I'm sitting there banging my head on the wall. The dog bit me.
So, King, does that mean you're taking Zona?
Yeah.
There you go. I got the Rams too. I just really like that defense. Arizona's not playing very good football right now, so I'm taking the Rams as well. Next game, Cleveland at Tennessee. Both teams 8-3. I cry foul on one of them. King.
I got Tennessee. I love the running back. He's gonna run everybody over.
Tennessee outright. Cleveland stinks.
Yep.
Well, they don't stink, but they're not. I don't buy them as an 8-3 team. I'll take that back. They're a decent team, but they're not a great
Eagles
team.
Fan just looked at an 8-3 team and said they stink. I mean, what?
There's no way Cleveland could be better than Philadelphia.
That's how my season's gone.
What is your team? A transfer station? What the heck?
The quarterback stinks. I'll switch it to that.
I'm picking Tennessee.
And then finally, New England back in the playoff picture. Hosting.
Yeah, that's why I picked this game. It's an important. New England cannot lose.
That's exactly right. They are hosting the LA Chargers, who have blown many leads this year. King.
I got New England. I was impressed with them last week. Although the quarterback plays horrible.
Steve?
I mean, the quarterback for the Chargers is better, but I think the Patriots are the better team. They'll win.
I've got the Patriots eking out a close one. I agree. Justin Herbert has not been the problem. Everything else is the problem for the LA Chargers right now.
Especially injuries.
Yes.
And obviously I want Anthony to do well. I'm talking about Anthony Lynn, the Chargers quarterback. It's not like I don't know him. Dan Lynn, his son, played here at Penn State, so it's like, I want him to do well, but it's been a real struggle.
Congratulations to the Nittany Lions. You got to win. Good for you.
There you go. Played well too.
Good.
Yes, it did. It felt great to do a post-game show where you could just ask really good questions, and everybody was in a good mood talking about it. How about that?
Yep, good for you. It's a tough
same thing with basketball last
year.
night.
There's no question about that, but you still want to win.
Absolutely, you want to win. You want to win definitely Saturday at Rutgers. Yep. Sounds like the weather's going to be a little dicey on Saturday. So
yeah, it's going to be weird.
Yeah,
I was so happy you got one. I absolutely adore your head coach, and it bugs me to see him getting criticized.
Yeah,
he's a great football coach. This is an off year. It's different. They have so much to do and follow. That's why the head coach for Pittsburgh, named the Steelers head coach,
Tomlin.
Tomlin. He's done an incredible job keeping that team together. Yeah.
No, I think so too. Yeah. In fact, James Franklin, we'll hear from him tomorrow on the show.
Well, tell him what a great coach I think he is. So.
I will. I'll tell him.
He's a good man. So.
Yep. All right, so it wraps it up for today. Thank you, brother.
See, King.
You're welcome. You guys stay safe. Wear your mask.
And Matt, I FedExed over because I bought a rubber suit from Amazon for you to watch the Eagles-Packers game. That way you don't get hurt.
Thank you. And even the great Bill Reese said viewer discretion is advised.
I mean, I'm just worried that I don't want you severely hurt, but I also don't want you mildly wounded either.
I appreciate your concern.
Memo to the Soup. Broadcast class begins January 19th.